I was 6 years old when I figured out there's no such person as Santa Claus. A few weeks before Christmas, my mother and I were in Walgreens, where she loaded up on gift wrap, which for some reason was already on sale, so she decided to, as she said, take advantage of some of it. So Christmas morning comes, and as I'm unwrapping one of my gifts left there for me under the tree by Santa in the night, I thought the gift wrap looked familiar. And then I wondered where I'd seen it before. She'd even let me carry some of it, since she was getting so much along with the bows and the ribbon and the scotch tape. And so I said to my mother, "Did you give this to me?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Did you give this to me?" And she said, after giving me a look like I had asked her that in French or German, and she wondered how and where I'd learned a foreign language, "No, Santa did. Look at the tag. Look at the gift card." And when I did, I remembered she bought those at Walgreens too. "Santa did, didn't he?" she asked my father. "Santa brought him that, right?" She was starting to sound what I would later, when I was older, call desperate. And he said, mid-drag on his cigarette, saying as he blew out the smoke, "Oh, yes, he did. Santa brought you that, and that, and that." He was pointing to all the other presents surrounding me. "And those, and that one too." And then I said, looking at the other gifts that I now saw were all wrapped in paper that I had first seen at Walgreens, "Did you help him wrap it?" She looked at me with a look that later I would describe as saying, "The jig is up." And now I realized she was thinking this moment had come sooner than she or my father thought it would, and they exchanged glances that now I know said, "Do we tell him now?" But finally, she invaded the heavy silence by saying, "Well, I helped him a little bit because he's so busy and has so many gifts to deliver. So while he put up his feet and ate the 2 cookies we left for him, remember the 2 cookies, and drank that glass of milk, and he was really hungry, I did pitch in and gave him a hand. But that was all. He brought them." She looked so needy for me to believe that I decided to let it go. And I left it at that. But later that week at Sunday school, I asked some of the other kids when we were talking about what they got for Christmas if any of their mothers had given Santa a hand and wrapped up some of the gifts so he could catch his breath and eat his cookie and drink his milk in peace. And all of them looked bewildered at the thought, because all their mothers had been asleep when Santa came. And if he does need any help, he has elves to do all that if he needs a breather. I think some of them thought it was sad that my mother wanted to take some of the credit for what everyone knew Santa did. I heard one kid say to another kid under his breath, "I'm glad my mother isn't his mother." I didn't say anything in the car on the way home, but I knew. I knew the truth about Santa. And that's how I figured out about Santa. I let them go on for a couple more years, letting them believe I still believed, until they figured out I was old enough and was going to be able to take the truth. So they sat me down after Thanksgiving, as we were heading into the Christmas season, which back then started in late November, not early September, and they gave me the talk. It started like this. "We think, your father and I think, we both do think this, that you're old enough now," and I let them go on, just like I didn't know. But maybe kind of did, and I even managed to squeeze out some tears that I'd probably saved up from that morning when I did put it all together because of the paper and the gift tag, and I took my first official steps into the land of disillusionment. Maybe we're told that about Santa, and then the truth about Santa to get us used to that trip we take every so often throughout our lives when we find out something we thought was true isn't true, and later find out someone we thought loved us doesn't love us. Or even worse, we find out someone we thought we loved we don't love anymore. But Santa's the first one to break our hearts and introduce us to the land of as it really is.